yeah, I'm glad I got the winner.
It looked like you were going to run riot, being 2-0 up after 6 minutes. So what happened? How did the game run away from you guys?
I won't say run away, but obviously I think I mentioned it to you yesterday. There's a team that never gives up. They are quality players that can punish you if you're not there in a split second. If you are a little bit too late, and I think they punished you just before the break. And after the break, we tried to go for the 3-1. But obviously they get a bit of confidence from that as well. But eventually, have to keep going and show the resilience that we have been showing for all many years. And it was another great European night here again.
Yeah, attacking at the Cop end as well, going into the final stages. Was there always that belief you could find that winner?
It's easy to say afterwards, isn't it? But I think we showed many times that we are capable of doing it. And today I was the lucky one with the winner, and we move on.
It's another game though where there's been a couple of goals.
Virgil van Dijk makes ironic Liverpool admission after Chelsea, with main focus clear. Reds, listen up. It's been a rough week, hasn't it? 3 defeats on the bounce. Galatasaray in the Champions League, Crystal Palace in the league, and now Chelsea in the dying seconds. But what if I told you the captain still believes? What if I told you that despite the noise, despite the heartbreak, Van Dijk says Liverpool's story isn't over yet? Stick with me, because today we're diving deep into the mindset of our captain, the struggles under Arne Slot, and why this could still be the spark that reignites our season. Before we begin, hit that like button, drop a YNWA in the comments, and make sure to subscribe, because we've got a lot to unpack. And trust me, you'll want to stay till the end. It's been a long, painful week in the red half of Merseyside. After a flying start to the season under new boss Arne Slot, Liverpool hit a wall, 3 defeats in a row that no one saw coming. The loss to Galatasaray in the Champions League stung. The 1-0 defeat at Selhurst Park, courtesy of Eddie Nketiah, felt unlucky. But Saturday's heartbreak at Stamford Bridge, that one left a mark. Chelsea's Brazilian wonderkid, Estevão, stole the show in the final minute. Just like that, another lead vanished. Another game, another gut punch, and yet standing in front of the cameras with his head held high, Virgil van Dijk and the leader, the Rock, the captain, didn't run from the questions. He didn't blame anyone. He looked straight into the lens and said it plain. We'll bounce back. We'll turn this around. To concede like that is obviously not a great feeling, especially going into the international break, Van Dijk said, still drenched in sweat under the Stamford Bridge lights. Now we have a very tough 7 or 8 days ahead. It was always going to be a difficult season. I mentioned it from the very start already. You could hear the frustration, but also the determination. Van Dijk wasn't just talking to reporters. He was sending a message to the fans, to the dressing room, and even to himself. He reminded everyone that Liverpool's success was built on unity. We have to go through this as one, not only us as players, but also the staff and the fans who celebrated being champions. Then came the line that summed up the week. It's a bit ironic that we concede in 2 different games in the last minute. That irony, that twist of fate, that's football. But Virgil wasn't laughing. He was challenging the team to rise again. Before we go deeper, I want you to drop your thoughts below. Do you think Liverpool's form is just a small blip, or are there deeper issues under Arne Slot's system? Comment below and tell me what you think. And if you're still backing the boys, hit that thumbs up right now. Let's show the world that the Anfield faith never fades. Liverpool spent roughly $600 million in the summer, one of the busiest transfer windows in recent memory. Big signings came in. Big names went out. The squad was rebuilt for a new era. But with change comes chaos. Chemistry takes time. Relationships on the pitch take weeks, sometimes months, to click. And Van Dijk knows it. It's not that easy, he said. Obviously, it plays a part as well, but that shouldn't be the only focus. It's a combination of everything. He's right. It's not just tactics or transfers. It's mentality. It's rhythm. It's that Liverpool DNA, the belief that even when everything's going wrong, there's still a way back. Van Dijk's message was crystal clear. It's down to us to work to turn this around and find consistency. To not concede goals. To score goals. To create. To not give up chances against us. He knows what it takes. He's seen the highs. Champions League finals, Premier League titles, parade days through the streets. But he's also seen the lows. Injury crises, losing streaks, and all the noise that comes when things fall apart. It happened all last season when everything was positive, he said. Everyone was happy. Now we have a little blip, and now we need everyone more than ever to support us. And there's that word again, blip. It's one of those football cliches we all say to make ourselves feel better. But coming from Van Dijk, it felt real. It wasn't an excuse, and it was perspective. He wasn't denying the struggles. He was reminding everyone that momentum in football can shift in days. Every 3 or 4 days, things can change, he said. Momentum can change. But we have to work to get there first. That's leadership. That's the mentality of a man who's been through it all. If you've ever doubted this team, if you've ever shouted at the TV after another late goal, just remember, this is the same Liverpool that came back from 3-0 down in Istanbul. The same club that turned around a 3-0 deficit against Barcelona. So if you still believe in the comeback, type "We go again" in the comments right now. Let's fill that section with passion because the season isn't over, not by a long shot. Van Dijk couldn't hide his disbelief over Chelsea's winner either. He admitted he questioned the referee politely when he saw the clock tick over 98 minutes. "I saw the celebrations, and rightly so," he said. "But I thought they went on for over 2 minutes. I looked at the clock, 98. I asked, how is that possible? I wasn't angry or aggressive, just curious about the logic behind it. But then, in true leader fashion, he brought the focus back. That's not where the main focus should be. We should improve. That's the main focus. That's a captain's mindset. Not blame, not excuses, just responsibility. Liverpool now sits second in the standings, just behind Arsenal. It's the first time since match week 9 of last season that the Reds aren't leading or at least joint top. That stat alone says a lot about how high the expectations have become at this club. Van Dijk, though, isn't panicking. He's been here before. "I've been at the club for such a long time," he said. "There have been many difficult situations and we got out of them." You can almost hear his voice, calm but firm. The way a leader steadies the ship when the waves are crashing. "The only thing we can do is focus on the next opportunity and work on it," he added. And that next opportunity? Manchester United. A fixture that needs no introduction. Reds, I want to hear from you. How confident are you going into that Man United game? Drop your score predictions in the comments. If you think we'll bounce back with a win, hit that subscribe button right now, because we'll be breaking down every bit of that match when it happens. Van Dijk's message wasn't just for the dressing room. It was for every fan who's felt the frustration of the last few weeks. "We need everyone more than ever," he said. Fans, players, staff, all of us. That's the only way out, and he's right. This is Liverpool. This is a club built on unity, resilience, and belief. Whether it was Klopp's heavy metal football or Slot's new tactical ideas, one thing has never changed: the heart of the supporters. "No fan wants to come here and lose and go home disappointed," Van Dijk said. "So we have to keep going and stick together." That's a promise, not a plea. A promise that this team isn't done fighting. For Arne Slot, this is uncharted territory. The Dutchman has never lost 3 games in a row before. And for Liverpool, the last time it happened was back in that turbulent 2022-23 season under Jurgen Klopp. But every manager faces their first storm sooner or later. And this is Slot's. Van Dijk revealed the boss's reaction. "Disappointed that we lost in the last minute," he said. "But there were a lot of good things, especially in the second half, that we can build on. That's encouraging. Because even in defeat, there were glimpses, pressing patterns that worked, attacking moves that almost clicked, defensive shape improving late in the game." Slot knows this isn't a crisis. It's a test, and as Van Dijk reminded everyone, football is a results business. Losing is disappointing, but we have to get back to winning. That's our responsibility. Now, with the international break on the horizon, the players will scatter across the globe, some to Europe, others to South America or Africa. But when they return, the real work begins. A showdown with Manchester United at Anfield, a chance to flip the script. Van Dijk said it himself. It's an opportunity again to show what we showed last year. That's the reason we became champions and made people around the world happy. It's not just about points. It's about pride. It's about reminding the world that Liverpool Football Club doesn't crumble. It rebuilds stronger. If you're still watching this far, you're a real one. Smash that like button if you believe we'll rise again. Because when Anfield roars, when the Kop stands tall, there's no team in the world that can silence that energy. The thing about Liverpool, it's never just football. It's emotion. It's history. It's connection. And when players like Van Dijk speak, they carry the weight of all of that. He's been through the best and worst of times, but his belief never wavers. It sounds simple, he said, but the only way is to keep working, find results, and stick together. That's the message. That's the heartbeat of this club. You can lose a match, but you can't lose the spirit. Not here, not at Liverpool, so Reds, here's the bottom line. 3 losses don't define a season. They define character. And right now, Van Dijk's message is loud and clear. The fight's not over. The main focus? Improvement, unity, consistency. And that's how we'll rise again. If you felt that, if you believe in the comeback, do me a favor. Smash that like button for the captain. Drop a comment saying, "We go again," and hit subscribe, because when Liverpool bounce back, we'll be right here to celebrate together. Remember, we've been through worse. We've seen